and welcome to the first annual Circular Austin Showcase. My name is Skyra Rito. I am the Economic Development Services Coordinator for the City of Austin's Circular Economy Program, and I will serve as your MC this evening. We are so excited you were able to join us to hear our local circular economy and zero waste businesses pitch their business idea. Circular economy and zero waste places an emphasis on buying experiences and services over goods in order to protect the finite resources of our planet. So for example, going to the tailor to fix a broken zipper instead of going shopping, or renting a book from a library instead of buying it, or getting a birthday dinner instead of buying trinkets or flowers. So our program is committed to incorporating equity and environmental justice into our work, and our vision is to transform Central Texas into North America's strongest circular economy, where every material can be put to its highest and best use locally, where every person has equitable access to economic opportunities, and every community thrives. We believe that the circular economy is a great framework to ensure that we care for people and the planet in partnership with our business community. Before we begin our pitch competition this evening, I am going to invite Austin Resource Recovery's Director, Ken Snipes, to the stage to welcome you all to our event this evening. Ken?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Skyra. My name is Ken Snipes, Director of Austin Resource Recovery, and I am delighted to welcome all of you to all of our pitch companies, judges, and attendees to the inaugural Circular Austin Showcase, which brings together investors and entrepreneurs for a virtual pitch event supporting the circular economy. This event is in partnership between the City of Austin's Austin Resource Recovery and Economic Development Departments, as well as the Austin Young Chamber. You can learn more about the programs for each of our partners by clicking the links at the bottom of your remote screen. Austin Resource Recovery has been working toward achieving zero waste since 2011, when the City Council unanimously adopted the Austin Resource Recovery Master Plan. It was a bold step toward making Austin the most livable city in the country. The goal is to divert reusable resources from landfills and incinerators to activities like recycling, reuse, repair, remanufacturing, and of course, composting. According to the 2020 Austin Recycling Economic Impact Study, circular businesses support over $1 billion in local economic activity and over 6,300 jobs, all while helping Austin reduce waste to reach its goal of zero waste by 2040. Tonight's Circular Austin Showcase is so important because we want to ensure that we continue to partner with and support our local circular economy and zero waste businesses to provide high quality jobs and investment in the City of Austin. Thank you all so much for attending and participating this evening, and good luck to all of the competitors. Thank you. Skyra?
Thank you so much, Director Snipes. And as Director Snipes mentioned, tonight's event brings together a diverse group of people from both the investor and the business communities to support and inspire growth in the circular economy. 10, yes, you heard me right, 10 circular entrepreneurs and business owners will have the chance to pitch their company and participate in networking opportunities at the end of this event to build their funding network. Plus, one winner will receive $3,000 in prize money. So for our attendees, of course, let's be encouraging to our pitch competitors tonight and let them know that we're here and we're here to support them. You can show your support in the chat with your fire emojis, your +1s, and your thumbs up. And please remember to be nice and respectful. We have lots of pitches this evening, so hang in there with us and help us support the growth of these circular businesses. As a reminder, we will not be using the Q&A feature this evening. We have a lot of pitches to get through, you guys, 10 companies. And we want to ensure that you have time to hear all of them. So please write down your questions and you will have the opportunity to ask them during the networking component of this event. Now, a little bit about how we got here today. This is the first year that the City of Austin is hosting the Circular Austin Showcase. In May, we launched an application for circular economy, zero waste, and sustainability companies to apply to pitch. The application closed on June 4th, and the eligibility criteria was very simple because we wanted to make sure that it was accessible to our circular economy business community. So You have to have a business located in the city of Austin, not have raised more than $500,000 in funding, and not have revenue exceeding $250,000 in funding. And based on the eligibility criteria, 6 companies were selected to be part of the pitch competition. We also have 4 competitors from the Reverse Pitch Innovation Fellows Accelerator who are competing as well. And of course, our goal is twofold tonight. We want to inspire and educate the investment community on the social, environmental, and economic benefits of circular economy businesses. And of course, we want to connect our circular economy businesses and entrepreneurs with potential investors in the region, a win-win for all of us. We hope the impact of this event leads to more investment in circular economy companies, more high-quality jobs for Austinites, and of course, more opportunities to reduce the environmental impacts to our planet. So we want to thank all of you so much for joining us this evening in support of this work. And it is now my pleasure to introduce our judges panel. So judges, when I introduce you, please turn on your camera and give us a wave. First, we have Ms. Carrie Roop with True Growth Ventures. Carrie, you want to give us a wave? Hi, Carrie. And of course, we have Tatiana Gaspar with Next Coast Ventures. Tatiana, if you want to give us a wave. And we have Umberto Olivio with Valley Fund Venture Capital. Umberto, if you want to give us a wave.
Skyra, he'll be on in a moment. We had to give him a second to refresh his browser.
Gotcha. Thanks, Alicia. And we also have Josue Limon with Bancorp South. Josue, if you want to give us a wave. Awesome. As soon as we get Umberto back, we'll go ahead and invite him to give you guys a wave. But these are our judges. We want to thank you so much for joining us today. And of course, tonight, our Circular Austin Showcase will be determined by our judges' scores. So each of our 10 finalists this evening will have 4 minutes to pitch, and they'll be followed by 4 minutes of Q&A with our judges. Finalists, remember, keep your eye on the clock. We do have control of your AV. Of course, good luck to everyone. And without further ado, let's get started with the first pitch company. So our first finalist is Review Technology, and it will be pitched by Will Cray. Will Cray, we're going to go ahead and invite you to the stage.
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. My screen. Very cool. Great. Can everyone see me? Hey, everyone. My name is Will Cray, and I'm the CEO and founder of Review Technology, where we create an app that helps you know what's recyclable by taking a picture. The problem that we try to address is that people are bad at recycling. About 17% of what's put in the bin isn't actually recyclable. And this drives hundreds of millions of dollars of losses to cities like the city of Austin and recycling companies in America alone each year. And it's no wonder people have such a hard time deciding what's recyclable. It depends on a multitude of variables, such as the material that the item is made from, your current location, if it has food waste on it, and even its shape, size, and thickness. Wouldn't it just be easier if you could touch a button and know if something is recyclable? Well, that's what we've created at Review Technology. Review is an app that allows a user to take a picture of an item and learn if it's compostable, recyclable, or trash, all specific to their location. On the screen, you can see someone being interested in a water bottle, so they take a picture of it. And they know that a plastic bottle is recyclable. They actually aren't sure about the plastic bottle cap. They touch into the option in the middle and learn immediately that plastic bottle cap is in fact recyclable in their area, but they should leave the cap on the bottle in order for it to actually get recycled. And the market for a product like this is growing tremendously because the cost of recycling incorrectly and its environmental impact is growing rapidly. From COVID, residential recycling contamination is up over 10%. Processing costs to actually remove contamination from the recycling stream are up 48% from 2016. And if you're able to remove that contamination, then the value that you can sell the clean recyclables for is up 50% from last year alone. Our business model is really simple. We partner with cities and recycling companies on an annual contractual basis for $10,000 to $150,000 a year, depending on the population size. And this is irrespective of the number of people that actually download the app. We're currently investigating a potential future revenue stream, which is to partner with consumer packaged good companies to provide brand specific results and instructions on how to sustainably dispose of an item, thereby increasing those CPG companies' environmental, social, and governance scores. There are some existing apps in the space that allow users to search for items via text. We also allow users to search for items via text, but we're the only app that allows a user to take a picture of an item and learn if it's recyclable. And our research shows that searching by image is faster and easier to use. 74% of consumers have said that they would prefer to use search by image over text. And that's not the only validation we have. One of our competitors is actually under contract with the city of Fort Worth, and the city of Fort Worth is actively working with us to launch a pilot to around 1,100 citizens in about 4 weeks. We also were recently offered funding through the Sputnik Startup Accelerator here in Austin, which is very exciting. And if we do grow and develop, then we'll create many high-paying jobs right here in Austin. We have a spectacular and talented team working on Review, consisting of many UT Austin current undergraduate students, as well as myself, a recent Master's of Computer Science graduate. If we were to win this competition, then it would help continue to fund our part-time intern, Ankit Yenda, in the bottom right-hand corner, so we can continue to develop our app's front end, as well as continue to develop our user experience design. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you so much, Will. At this time, I am going to invite our judges to ask questions, and I'm going to start with Carrie. So Carrie, if you want to come to the stage and ask a question.
You said you price at a flat rate for the city or the municipality, but for them to get an ROI, obviously they need to have a lot of usage that actually drives less contaminated recycling. So what are you doing and how are you doing it to gain consumer adoption and to remind them to stay engaged and to use it frequently?
Sure, yeah. So the business model is proven and works well. There's actually a multi-million-dollar market for it in the US, about $60 million and abroad, and about $120 million, irrespective of the use. Ideally, you could drive that ROI to be able to price things potentially higher, but also drive that consumer engagement, as you said. We have a lot of ideas in order to do that. The best one, I would say, is to reward users on a per picture basis through these partnerships with CPG companies, where if you take a picture of, say, a Keurig K-Cup, the consumer would actually be offered rewards through Keurig to continue to use that product.
Thank you, Carrie. Josue?
Great pitch, Will. Just quick question. You mentioned the competition in Fort Worth. Have y'all done some homework on any other further competition down the line, or is that the only one that y'all come across?
We've spoken with many different potential customers, and many are highly interested in the product, and we're continuing to generate traction through those various conversations. We've also sparked many conversations with recycling companies who seem to be very interested, but enterprise sales is a long process, right? So we'll see how many of those conversations actually yield results.
Awesome. And Tatiana?
Hi, could you speak to the degree of accuracy of the app to actually identify what the product actually is and the components?
Sure. Right now, we have it's able to recognize around 300 items currently at about 60 to 65% accuracy. But the underlying technology that I understand very well is going to be driven to be around 95% accurate in the end. There are numerous other apps that allow you to perform image recognition on things like plants, that are very successful multi-million-dollar businesses that have those sort of image recognition accuracies.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Will, and Review Technology. We're going to go ahead and give our judges a minute to submit their scores after each finalist this evening. Will, you can go ahead and go off stage. Perfect. So while we give our judges a second, do any of you guys have any thoughts or any ideas for Review Technology, for their app, for their presentation? If you want to drop those in the chat, any people you can think of that they can partner with or collaborate with, that would be great as well. And while we give our judges another minute or so to tally up their scores, I figured we could do what I like to call a little trash talk, right? Since we're talking about reverse pitch companies and circular economy. And so we're going to do a little bit of trivia. So I'm going to ask a question and you guys drop what you think the answer is in the chat. So the question is, what percentage of our food supply becomes food waste in the United States? What percentage of our food supply becomes food waste in the United States? Do you think it's 12%, 70%, 30%, or 4%? What do you guys think? 30, I'm seeing a lot of 30s, 30%. 70, somebody said 70%. 40, Robert, 40 would be great if it were an option. George says 12. 30. Actually, you guys are super smart. It is 30%. So 30% of our food supply becomes food waste in the United States. And the wonderful thing about the city of Austin is that we are working really hard with our Office of Sustainability and other business partners and community members to address our food issue here in Austin. So thank you guys for participating in our Trash Talk Trivia question. Now we are going to move on to our next pitch. Please join me in welcoming DV Designs, and it will be pitched by Vincent Marcella. Vincent, if you want to join me on the stage.
All right, there we are.
Vincent, we can't see or hear you. Do you want to try again to turn on your mic and video?
Can you see us now?
Yes.
Okay, it was up a second ago.
Vincent, I think it went out again. Do you want to try one more time? And if not, we can always get Mel to share your presentation, and then you guys can just give the pitch.
Yeah, okay, so sorry about that. Apparently, whenever we switch over to our slide presentation, it cuts off our video. Can everyone see us? All right, I will take that as a yes. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vincent. This is my partner, Deepak, and we are DV Designs. Spent grain. Every alcohol producer, from the individual hobbyist all the way up to Anheuser-Busch, produces it, and every producer has to dispose of it. In the Austin area, craft brewers and distilleries just themselves produce over 8 million gallons of this stuff every year, which is actually enough to overflow the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pond in Washington, D.C. So, what is spent grain? It is the proprietary mixture of grains that alcohol is produced from, left over after production is complete. While every producer makes it, no two mixtures are the same. And you can basically think of spent grain as the physical fingerprint of every batch of alcohol that's ever been produced. So what happens to this whenever the production is complete? Well, largely it gets sent to landfill. There are some lucky breweries that are able to give it away to farmers to use it as livestock feed, but this only applies to breweries that are located near livestock ranches. And if you're a distiller, you're out of luck because the higher water content of spent grain from distillation makes it impractical as an animal feed. So the majority of spent grain, about 5 billion pounds of waste in the US alone, simply gets thrown away. And of course, that comes at a cost. As an example, one local distillery told us that they spend $250,000 a year on spent grain disposal fees alone. And while spent grain is the producer's primary waste stream from their production process, making up 85% of that waste stream, it's not their only waste stream. Their tap rooms and tasting rooms produce waste just like a normal bar or restaurant, and so that means a lot of paper waste. In fact, in Austin, 120,000 tons of paper waste end up in landfills every year. So that basically leaves us with these two mutually exclusive streams where raw materials come in and waste is produced. And that's just the state of the business. But what if it didn't have to be? What if there was a way for these environmentally conscious and passionate craft producers to eliminate their primary waste stream, their reliance on paper products, and all of their landfill disposals, by building a circular economy around their business that reuses their primary waste stream to give their spent grain a second life as a functional, value additive showcase of their production process and a replacement for the disposable paper barware items. We are DV Designs, and with our product, Spent 85, that is the exact opportunity that we are going to provide. Spent 85 is a castable, robust, water-resistant, and 100% biodegradable alternative to paper pulp, and it's made out of spent grain. Although there are many products that we can make out of this material, we will bring it to market by supplying biodegradable barware to Austin area craft brewers and distillers made specifically out of their grains. We've created several prototypes, and we have found that spent grain is able to be produced without any extreme manufacturing process and using primarily spent grain. We also found that the remainder of this product will be composed of other biodegradable and non-toxic diverted waste materials that are easily accessible and affordable. Pair that with our in-town supply chain, and we will forecast production costs similar to that of traditional paper items. It's really quite hard to beat getting the majority of your raw materials for free. Our next step is to finalize the last details of our recipe and our process, and then create a test batch of 10,000 coasters, which we will distribute with our partner breweries and distilleries for real-world testing. It would be here where the prize money from this competition would be used, as it'll allow us to financially push through these final steps of our pre-production process. From there, we will take the learnings and make any tweaks that they inform, and then bring up a production facility with the goal of diverting 20,000 pounds of spent grain per month by the end of 2022. Once again, my name is Vincent, my partner is Deepak, and if you'd like to get to know us anymore, please feel free to ask anything in the Q&A or come stop by our table after the pitches. We are DV Designs, our product is Spent 85, and we turn brewers and distillers' waste into sustainable, functional showcases of their passion. Thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Vincent and Deepak. Of course, we're going to turn it over to our judges for any questions. I am going to start with Tatiana.
I just want to make sure I follow. So originally, my understanding was that the spent grain was going to eventually replace packaging, but then you mentioned coasters. So is that just kind of the first step to test it out, or just want to make sure that I'm following?
Yes, exactly. So it's the first step, and basically we are going to be providing barware, so coasters, plates, that sort of thing, and then also packaging materials, basically, replacing all of their reliance on paper pulp. And coasters are the first step.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Josue, do you have a question for DV Designs?
No question. Tatiana, I had. So thank you, Vincent.
Thank you, Josue. Carrie, do you have a question for DV Designs?
Customer, who I imagine is the bar, what the value proposition is. Obviously, I get that they get to participate in the circular, that they want to do that. What's the cost of this? What's the longevity of this product? I guess in my head when I saw it, it looks like it might actually disassemble pretty quickly with water. Like, can they put logos on it? Like, how do they look at this relative to the other products they could purchase, and what's the reason they're choosing this instead?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. I guess we'll start off with the foundational cost portion. So we forecast this to cost us the same amount of money to produce as a traditional paper product, which means to carry the same profit margin as currently profitable businesses. We could sell it for an equal price and potentially more, because it has that value of being their own grains. And we found through our research that these craft producers really are passionate about their products and like to showcase it however they can. And so being able to serve their product on their product is a really cool story that we've gotten a lot of very positive feedback from. As for the how robust it is, we are targeting it as a replacement to disposable paper products. So it's not intended to be permanent. It is designed to last for a necessary amount of time for people to have their drinks and that sort of thing, but then also be biodegradable in a relatively short period of time to push it ahead of other paper products. So yeah, it will work as a disposable product and be an interesting material and be at a similar cost to the current alternatives.
Thank you, Vincent. And Umberto, do you have a question for DV Designs? All right, I'm going to take that as a no. Thank you so much, DV Designs. I really appreciate you guys. You can go off stage now.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Also, if you guys want to check out the chat, I think you have some really cool ideas that some people that have been watching your pitch have for you guys. I see thinkers and drinkers, not sure what that means. I might have missed the joke, but that seems cool. While we go ahead and give our judges the opportunity to submit their scores, we're going to go back to our Trash Talk Trivia. So I am going to do a little fun fact this time instead of a trivia question. So I am not originally from Austin. I moved here right at the beginning of the pandemic last year, so you guys can welcome me from Louisiana. I was a neighbor for a little bit. But I've always heard of the tagline, keep Austin weird, and Austin being the live music capital of the world, right? And those nicknames are very well known. But Austin's secondary nickname is Violet Crown City, which I don't know, I mean, if you knew that, but I didn't. And it predates Keep Austin Weird and the live music capital of the world. And the nickname was inspired by the purplish light visible over Austin's hills in wintertime. I don't know if you guys knew that, I didn't, so I figured I would share all of the wonderful things that I am learning about Austin with you guys for our Trash Talk Trivia. Thank you all so much for listening to our pitches. We are 2 in. We have 10 tonight, 10 awesome pitches. Really excited to be here. Hey, Louisiana is in the house. Thank you so much for the welcome. Really excited about it, but we're gonna keep this moving forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our next pitch company. So our next pitch is Lola's Classic Babies, and it is being pitched by Lilitha Rodriguez. Lilitha, if you want to come to the stage.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. I forgot this was happening. Hold on 1 second. It's doing the same thing that it was doing last time. It's completely not working.
Hey, Lola, would you like for us to do your presentation and then you present? Will that be helpful for you?
Yeah, that would help because it keeps doing that double screen thing.
Okay.
And when I try to do it the other way, it literally wouldn't even let me open it.
No worries. We have a plan B for a reason. Mel, are you able to share Lola's Clacka's Babies presentation? And Lola, if you'll just let us know when to go to the next slide.
Okay, cool. Okay, should I start?
Yes, start.
Okay, cool. Hi, my name is Lilitha Rodriguez, and I'm a creative entrepreneur and the owner and operator of Lola's Classic Babies LLC. We've been established since 2017, so we've been in business for the last 4 years. You can go to the next slide. We are a handmade baby clothing accessory brand based in Austin, Texas. And as a Black woman in the South, owning my own business and building new ones in the POC community is key. I started primarily making products for myself, for my son, and discovered that a niche was there. My inspiration stemmed from my struggles with motherhood and shows in every product that I produce. Go to the next slide. On our team, we're very small. We only have a team of 3, which is myself as a founder, and then we have Lucetto. She handles all of the branding, and then we have Daniel. He's over our production. You can go to the next slide. Just for an example, one of the nonprofit centers, Austin Creative Reuse in Austin, Texas, collects about 2,500 pounds a month of decorated fabric samples and swatches of waste. These samples are small and almost unusable. Our brand products, especially the bow ties, require very little amounts of fabric to be produced, which we believe solution in helping control the waste or even eliminate it altogether. You can go to the next slide. Each swatch produces 1.5 bows, where each booklet typically holds 28 swatches, producing 42 bows each. This converts into about an average of $392 in profit revenue per booklet. You can go to the next slide. We help also with controlling our production. This helps us cut costs and save us more and gives us a bigger profit. Instead of doing it salary based, we give our employees a chance to work percentage based. So whatever they produce and we are able to sell, that's what they will get in a salary. You can go to the next slide. Our competitors are name brand corporations like Gap, Walmart, and Target, where customers could find products similar to ours and sometimes cheaper because of the overseas large mass production. You can go to the next slide. Our goal is to produce no more than 5% waste in every piece of fabric swatch, including remaining scraps that will be used in fabricating another products. So throughout our company, we use the scraps that we get, even from the waste, and put it in diaper clutches, the bibs, the burp cloths and stuff. We'll use them as bias tape, just to give you a little example. You can go to the next slide. The marketing plan is twofold: online sales and retail distribution. Bow ties are trending, and since 2014, they were searched 4 times more than neckties online. This leads well for online advertisement, also getting it with stores who will buy products in bulk. We are already selling on our online shop. We're also in some local stores, which are New Origin Shop, Gather Co. in BK's, Shaded Kids in New Jersey, and Fair Wholesale that's located in California. You can go to the next slide. You can also catch our story through these publications. We have had many recognitions throughout the news, magazines, and also online. Don't forget to visit our website. And if you want, what we are planning on doing is that we're trying to hit an untouched market with the baby industry, and to always remember, with Lola's Classic Babies, we help parents go from child-free to baby-filled easier. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Lola. All right, judges. I am going to start with Josue. Josue, do you have a question for Lola?
Yes, great pitch. I enjoyed seeing that you're found in stores already. So I just want, very simple question. What made you get involved in something like this from the beginning back in 2017?
I got pregnant and I had a child, and I had a son, particularly a boy. And when I went out to go get those things, everything was the same, and they were gender oriented, or I felt myself using it very quickly and then getting rid of it and not finding another use for it. So that's what made me start this brand, is that I wanted to make items that we could use multiple times in different ways. And then that helps to prolong the item, the life cycle of the item, and of course to make them look cool, because everybody wants their kids to look cool.
Awesome. You guys, unfortunately, Umberto is having tech issues, so I'm going to be asking his questions for him. So Umberto's question for you, Lilitha, is how has COVID-19 changed your vision and market, if at all?
It changed it as far as I was doing markets and doing a lot of sales in person, and I really wasn't online or in retail stores. It made me make a pivot to be online and try and change pretty much my whole sales and marketing towards my customers, and then to push myself to reach out and do wholesale and get into boutiques and stuff around the city.
Awesome. Thank you. Carrie, do you have a question for Lilitha?
Sorry for the delay. I love the concept of what you're doing, Lilitha. I'm wondering how you can scale, because I imagine you've got people sewing, et cetera, and what you might be doing to actually use technology or patterns or other kinds of things to actually allow you to ramp up. Let's say you get huge demand online for bow ties because they get hot and you're online. How do you make sure that you can process this quickly enough to actually make this a viable entity?
So what I do in particular is that I create my own patterns and stuff like that, so I know exactly how long, and I time everything. So what I'll do is whenever I get something, I'll try to make it in bulk instead of making just singled out items. So I'll put it to where it's multiple items at once, and then I'll try to utilize it throughout multiple products. Instead of me just focusing on bow ties, I'll push it through other products and then push it through, and I eventually sell the other products through that instead of just making it to one thing.
Great, thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Tatiana, do you have a question for Lilitha?
Hey, I do. So I actually have two questions, and I'll make them quick. So the first one is, where are you sourcing the materials from? And I'm sorry if I missed that. And then the second one is, can you just talk a little bit more about your product offering generally? You mentioned bow ties. I was just wondering kind of what else are you doing, and what else are you hoping to go into?
My source for the wasted material is Austin Creative Reuse at the moment. As far as all the other material that I get are from small businesses that sell fabric, and they give it to me wholesale, so I kind of get a cost from that by building that relationship. And what I do is, to cut costs, is that I'll buy it or I'll get it by the yardage, and then I'll make sure that I can produce at least 15 items out of that yard. And what I do is I do diaper clutches, burp cloths, teething toys, t-shirt onesies, which I also have a relationship with the thrift store for free, so that's how I make the onesies, or I'll make them out of my own. And then I also make the bow ties. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to quickly. I saw the zero and that just like, like zero.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Well,
That's great. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much, Lilitha. Appreciate it. You can go ahead and head backstage. All right, you guys, we are 3 in. That was a great pitch. I want you to know too, I'm a big fan of bow ties. I was actually gonna wear one tonight, but I couldn't find one that I really wanted to wear that was going with my whole theme. And so I'm really excited to hear about that. Also, the mention of only producing 5% waste, I think that's pretty incredible. A pretty incredible way for us to continue to reuse materials that are already in use, and a pretty good way to get some super cool, unique bow ties in the process. So Lilitha, I might be calling you soon. Back to our trash talk trivia. So I thought I would share a fun fact, which is around the 5%, right? So did you guys know that aluminum can be recycled using only 5% of the energy used to make the product from new? A little fun fact for you guys. Anyway, love bow ties, really excited about it. Way to go, Lola's Classic Babies. And we are gonna keep moving right along. So our next pitch is going to be Reuse for Earth, and it will be pitched by Jordan Smith. So Jordan, you want to come and join us on the stage?
Hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Let me just get my screen shared. Okay. So, hi, I'm Jordan Smith, Useful Earth, and the first product we're developing is the Plant Baxter. Imagine this. Not so far in the future, you're walking down an urban street, and everywhere you look, there are walls and overflowing roofs of greenery. You walk past a strip of restaurants where kitchen staff are harvesting their patios for their daily menus. You pass a schoolyard with kids planting cute little seedlings in their learning gardens. The air smells fresher, the breeze a little cooler. This is the vision of the future that inspires and motivates me. Reuseful Earth is on a mission to make this a reality, starting with the Plant Baxter. There are many challenges that exist in shifting from an industrialized food system to a localized one. Let's start with restaurants, bars, and cafes. Many use planters with hardy landscaping plants to beautify their patios, but rarely you see the space utilized for edible gardens. As a landscape designer, my clients are most often concerned with low maintenance, aesthetics, and functionality for their outdoor spaces, especially in a commercial setting. It's true that growing food does require more attention. But with a product and optional service that can meet all of these needs, the benefits to the restaurant in terms of fresh food, space optimization, and reduced carbon footprint will far exceed the cost. The Plant Baxter is a modular self-watering container garden made from locally. The soil bag is woven polypropylene upcycled from an Austin Eastsider's byproduct, the Super Sack. The wooden box is made from lumber cutoffs from new home builds and other found pieces. The use of different wood makes each Plant Baxter aesthetically unique and beautiful, but it is standardized in its core design. The self-watering mechanism is not new or advanced technology. As you can see, it simply utilizes a space between the bottom of the soil and a water reservoir with a wicking material to connect the two. I've used old cotton t-shirts for the wicking material and old bowls I found for the reservoirs. In most cases, the Plant Baxter would only need to be watered once a week or less, and it has a capacity to grow all kinds of herbs, leafy greens, and other fruits and vegetables. It can be stacked into a stand, hung from a ceiling, or mounted to a wall. Plant Baxters will be made to order for Austin businesses. It will first be marketed as a craft cocktail garden that doubles as patio dividers. The cost to make a Plant Baxter is roughly $120, and each unit will be sold at $240. Add-ons will be available once they are developed, and installation will be offered as an optional service. Once we've reached $10,000 in profit from these revenue streams, we will start working on securing sponsorships and grants that can fund learning gardens for youth groups and schools. When our community has grown and our team has saturated the local market, we will work on DIY instructions and videos that will either have corporate sponsorship or be purchasable online. There will also be an option to buy just the bag component of the Baxter. Reuseful Earth has the potential to have a far-reaching impact. The industrial food system is one of the biggest culprits in environment and climate change. It's a linear model using excessive land, energy, and resources, and many byproducts of the process end up in the landfill. I cannot overstate the scope of our food system and how many benefits the localization of it will have. The Plant Baxter even cuts out many of the steps you see in this local food system diagram. And as you already know, production of the Plant Baxter also diverts plastic and wood from our local landfill. Last year, the construction of new homes in Austin has 81.4 million pounds of lumber waste to the landfill. We could build about 4 million Plant Baxters per year with that kind of wood. That's enough capacity to feed 4% of our city's population. Obviously, I cannot do this alone. My next goal is to recruit a diverse team of passionate leaders. I love design and problem solving and have been using reclaimed materials to build sustainable solutions for urban agriculture for the past few years. I look forward to meeting this dream team with all these interests and talents so we can continue this work at a larger scale. But also, I haven't been doing this alone. I have had support from my family, friends, and these beautiful people here. And special thanks to Brian, Chris, Ellie, and Rob. And thank you guys.
Awesome. Great job, Jordan. All right, judges. Jordan Umberto has a question for you, and his question is, have you thought about real estate developers and designing urban forms for apartment complexes and offices?
Yes, for apartment complexes, I have thought about it, but I haven't thought about it on the large scale of doing it for a developer. And actually, the reason I shifted, I originally started thinking I was going to do it just direct to consumer, but I shifted because I would like to do it in larger sales. So like 10 plant baxters per restaurant or whatever. But that's a really good idea that I had not. So thank you.
Yep. He said it could give you a boost to scale. So great answer. Josue, if you want to ask your question for Jordan.
Hey, Jordan. Yeah, I just want to know what was the what drove you to the sales price of 240? What factored into that?
So I actually the competitive market is like lettuce stands and garden and click and grow and like these hydroponics systems that are slightly more expensive than what I would be able to charge. And you know, I haven't actually started production of them yet. I'm still, you know, almost finished with of this portion, and I've been what the cost of actually building it is.
Thank you for your question, Josue. Carrie, do you have a question for Jordan?
About what you've learned in your customers bars, about how many of them feel like they could self-service this and like keep the plants alive and know what, you know, nutrients they need at different times of the year versus how many really are interested in the services model and what that would look like from a business model point of view. Because it's hard to know whether your business is really product sales or a, you know, gardening as a service.
Yeah, I struggled. Yeah, I've struggled figuring that out because that's kind of the challenge is, you know, I want to be able to offer installation, but maintenance is a whole nother thing. Installation is pretty straightforward because you can set it up and you can you know, say, okay, these are the instructions that go, you know, along with it, at least for this herb or these selection of plants. So it would be the learning portion of it for the actual restaurant would probably be pretty robust, except if they actually just grow herbs, because herbs are, but there's just a lot of that I don't know the answer to yet.
You could talk to lots of customers. I would advise that before you get started, is really to actually talk to lots of restaurants and bar owners to find out how they operate and what might work in their business.
Thank you, Carrie. And Tatiana, do you have a question for Jordan?
Yeah, my question was around demand. I think it just got answered, so I'm all good. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for Useful Earth. And Jordan, you can go ahead and head backstage.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, we give our judges a couple minutes to submit their scores for Useful Earth. We're back to our trash talk trivia. So I have a question for you guys. I hope you know the answer to this, especially the ones who are native Austinites. So the city of Austin has a goal to be zero waste by what year? The city of Austin has a goal to be zero waste by what year? 2030, 2060, 2025, or 2040? 24 is, everybody knows. Everybody knows. I can't catch y'all. I'm not catching y'all off guard tonight. Y'all are on it. 2040 is the correct answer. All right, way to go. I love it. Y'all are engaged, you love it. You're helping us support reaching that goal, and we're doing it tonight by supporting our circular economy businesses. That's right, sugar, look at us. We're awesome. I love it. Thanks, guys. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Yes. All right, awesome. Well, moving right along to our next pitch, we have Terra Golf, and it will be pitched by Adi B. Adi, if you want to come and join us on the stage.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone see that? All right. Oops. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Addy, and I am a co-founder of Terra Golf, and we have a goal to keep the greens clean. So to start off, here are a couple of alarming facts, and you can see that the issue is that there's a lot of waste, but not a lot of recycling. And to focus in on the issue of golf, so wooden golf tees can actually be very wasteful. Nearly 282,000 trees are cut down annually to make golf tees. And these golf tees are honestly not that great quality, and they can break easily after 1 or 2 hits. Based on the stats for the plastic tee, you need to use 6 to 7 wooden tees for an equal a round of golf. And however, plastics can be very harmful for the environment at the end of its life. In terms of textiles and club covers, many club covers are made from leather and cotton, which require a high amount of water usage to grow the cotton and grow cattle, which is also very wasteful. And so we have a solution to that. We have created 3 products, the Terra Golf Tee, the Terra Club Cover, and the Terra Tea Bag. At Terra, we have a focus on creating high-quality golf products that are recycled and enhance the image of golf as an environmentally friendly game. The golf tees are made from majority recycled material that can also be recycled at the end of its life. So for now, how it's made. The plastic tees that we have are made from PET, post-industrial plastic waste. And so this plastic can just be remolded into golf tees. Our packaging for the tees itself are also recycled and biodegradable, and we buy that packaging from Eco Enclose. Our club covers are made from textiles that are locally sourced in Austin, and we also plan to work with Open Arms, which is a company based in Austin that employs refugees and gives them opportunities to do stitching and create our club covers. And as for the team, my name is Addy, like I said in the beginning, and I am focused on product development, manufacturing, operations, and sales. And my he's focused on finance, creating content, and really getting developing the branding of our company. And as you can see, there are a couple of competitors. There are big players and there are also small players. These big brands focus have a very big emphasis on technologically advancing the game of golf, and these small brands have more of a focus on culture, fashion, and the trendy side of golf. We believe that we can fit into this smaller brand category that has a focus on the environment. We believe that we can build a base of golfers that have a eco-friendly mindset, and we believe that we can start with the awesome crowd. And as for our sales strategy, we plan to create a brand for our company through 3 platforms. First is social media, second is getting our product into pro shops, and the third is the brand ambassador program. We're going to continue to crank out content for our page and entertain our customers through our Instagram, and also educate them on the issues of golf being a wasteful sport. Next, we want to get our products into pro shops, so really getting our product onto the golf course itself. And finally, with the NCAA new rule about athletes being able to use their following base and status to partner with brands, we plan to create the Terra team and continue to team up with college athletes to create content and increase our following nationally. And as for our financials, we have 3 different bag sizes. And as we continue to increase our order sizes based on demand, we believe that our profit margins can increase. We're still trying to determine the club cover pricing, and so that is still being worked with our manufacturer, open arms. And finally, we also have the tea bag, which we've determined to have a profit margin of $3.65. But we want to, as order sizes increase, we'll be able to increase our profit margin. And finally, our plan for funding is to use that money towards marketing and increasing order sizes to make manufacturing more profitable. And so as our order sizes increase, the price per part will go down. And so we plan to also create advertisements through Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and our email marketing campaign. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Adi. Appreciate the presentation. We're going to go to our judges for questions, and I'm going to start with Carrie. Carrie, do you have a question for Adi?
Style. I wondered to what extent the tea covers and the club covers, the tea bags and the club covers, that the fabric quality and fashion and style, et cetera, matter, and whether you're targeting, like, you've got obviously the sustainability that might appeal to some golfers, but does fashion, play into it? I'm thinking back to the woman who's repurposing fabrics and thinking about cool things for babies to wear and bow ties, and whether that plays into your business model at all.
I definitely think that golf is a very high status sport, and so really making it look pretty is the goal. And so we have actually shown our sample club covers to a lot of people on the golf course itself, and they said they loved it. The material that we're sourcing is currently so we have a lot of waste material from Outdoor Voices, and so if you can think about their synthetic, really nice material, that's pretty much what we're working with, and a lot of people have shown that they liked it. So far,
Thanks.
Everything's possible.
Thanks, Carrie. Tatiana, do you have a question for Adi?
How does your pricing compare to competitors? I guess smaller competitors, as you mentioned, you fit in that category.
Yeah, so our pricing is a little bit more on the higher end, just because we can only, with the capital that we have, we were only able to put in an order of 10,000 teas. And again, as I said, as we get more order sizes or increase our manufacturing order size, that price will come down, and we'll be able to meet that demand for sure.
Thanks, Tatiana. Umberto has a question for you, Adi. He said, who's your target market? Is it Gen Zers? And also, have you thought on leveraging some of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as a marketing tool?
Yeah, so I think our target market right now, based on our actions, is definitely on the younger side. But as we think that as we can educate them and continue to show them that this product is better for the environment, we think that it can trickle up into the older age groups. And I have not heard about the UNICEF or the United Nations thing yet, but I will look into it. Thank you for the suggestion.
Awesome. Josue, do you have a question for Adi?
No questions. I think all the other judges asked all the questions I had. I'm just, as a poor golfer, I look forward to your product.
I'm a golfer too.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Well, Adi, thank you so much. You can go ahead and head backstage.
Thank you.
So, for my attendees, guess what, you guys? We are halfway through. We've had five competitors pitch so far. We have 5 more to go. Just write down your questions. We have a networking component at the end. Each competitor will have their own table. You'll be able to sit with them, talk with them, ask them questions. So please keep a track of all the questions that you have for them or any suggestions for collaboration. I'm sure they would love to hear it. Glass half full. It's all fun, you guys. So moving right along, right into our next pitch. We have Pink Sugar Cupcakery, and it is being pitched by Sugar Tenen. Sugar, if you want to come join me on stage.
Hi.
Hi.
Let's do this thing. How's everybody tonight? Let's see. All right. That was premature, but here we go. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Sugar, and I am the founder and CEO of Pink Sugar Treats and Eats. Pink Sugar started as a home-based bakery business and is now expanded into a brick-and-mortar retail bakery in the heart of East Austin. We are a small batch artisan bakery pillared around planet forward sustainability and community forward social impact. So let's get into it. The question, how does a bakery contribute to a circular economy society? We all know that food waste is a huge human-induced planet problem and is truly dependent on us collectively making an active commitment to caring more to achieve generations of tangible change. A few facts I want to throw with you, a little food for thought, if you will. It's estimated that 50 billion pounds of food is wasted in retail, consumer-facing stores where most of the loss is focused on perishables, including produce, prepared foods, and you guessed it, baked goods. Also, 4 to 10% of food purchased by food establishment is wasted before it even gets to the consumer due to factors like poor planning and over-purchasing. Combined with food, single-use takeout containers account for about 45% of materials that end up in landfills. So sure, we're committed to sustainability as it relates to our packaging and our building materials and other traditional green practices. But the common denominator is all the things I mentioned above is simply human behavior. We can impact that. We can change that by adopting a circular economy practice in our store that is focused on social impact. Our social impact will allow us to educate, teach communities about zero waste, sustainability, and circular economy. I know that's broad, but to be more nuclear, we are launching our More Than Cake program, which aims to devote tools of success to the young food entrepreneurs in Austin. We envision these young food entrepreneurs as community powerhouses that will revolutionize the retail food industry. We will arm them with knowledge of how to shop smart, source locally, and contribute to the cycle of educating their communities on what circular economy is by being verbs and doing it themselves, just like we are now. Modeling behavior is the most effective teaching tool. We're talking some serious children are the future vibes here, y'all. By the end of their cohort, our food entrepreneurs will know how to launch, sustain, and scale their food businesses under the Texas Cottage Law with circular economy practices ingrained into the curriculum. We're using our existing business model as an inspirational blueprint of how it's done by using Austin's Zero Waste Strategic Plan to eliminate waste by 2040. This is circular economy, doing what works and replicating it in mass. Locally, we are connectors. We are buying all of our equipment secondhand from Austin family-owned and operated restaurant equipment suppliers. We are creating jobs, but better than that, we are choosing to be the catalyst that incubates viable Austin-based businesses that will be bigger and more intuitive than the foundation we have laid. The prize money will be used to fund our sustainable packaging from Austin-based To-Go Co, as well as seed the inaugural class of More Than Cake. More Than Cake will have an ambassador program for us to train interns that will oversee our circular economy segment of the business, which takes our cake scraps that we use to level our cakes and they that we in turn give to children in our community. Thank you all for your time today. Also, additionally, we will have a take back program on site that will take back our packaging so we can track our impact of recycling directly. Thank you all for your time today. It really means a lot to be selected to pitch and project passion, but also a robust and ambitious and necessary plan to nurture quantifiable change. But before I go, I have one question. Will you help us sweeten Austin to zero waste?
Awesome, Sugar. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Turning it over to our judges. Tatiana, do you have a question for Sugar?
Yeah, could you talk a little bit more about food waste and how you plan around reducing food waste and how does that play a part in your bakery?
So with the bakery, doing it small batch, we will only make we will never work towards having excess or having a bakery case full of everything. We will have like a seasonal menu that will allow for us to make the same things on a regular basis, increasing the volume on the weekends, but having a smaller amount during the weekdays when it's a little bit slower. And also we are looking into programs that allow for us to donate our food to Sustainable Food Center, Austin Food Bank, all those type of things to make sure that we are not wasting. And then when we level our scraps in the store, again, we'll have our interns make cake pops, which will, because we're in a multi-residential area, we'll always have a lot of kids come in and we'll just be able to give those away because the product's already paid for, and it's just a great way to just sweeten everybody's life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tatiana. Umberto has a question for you, Sugar, and his question is, what is your marketing strategy?
My marketing strategy right now is we are a successful business already. We are not just breaking into the market as a brick and mortar. I have a clientele that books out a year in advance. So when it comes to the store and marketing that, it really is about tapping into our partnerships with East Austin Magazine, and we have a couple of news partnerships with like Studio 512, using those existing relationships to really kind of let people know like, hey, we've grown and we've grown up and we're now in a store now to do that type of thing. We really want to just make it really local and not really go all in with ads and stuff like that, but we'll try. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Josue, do you have a question for Sugar?
Hey, Sugar, great presentation. Yeah, my only question, how has the COVID-19, the pandemic, affected you in this bakery industry?
Ooh, great question. COVID-19 completely obliterated my business, let's be transparent. Because I do a lot of wedding cakes and we are in the wedding industry and the events industry, nobody was having weddings, nobody was having events. So all of 2020, my brides canceled, they rescheduled to this year. So I basically had zero revenue because I couldn't book anything new in 2020. So, but we did pivot to an e-commerce model where we started shipping cookies and different types of things online. And in the same process, I launched my other business, which is called The Face Cookie. And that kind of, we put faces on cookies, and that brand kind of like took off and was able to just be a really awesome COVID pivot.
Perfect. Thanks, Josue. And Carrie, do you have a question for Sugar? I feel like the Jeopardy song should be playing. There you are.
Sorry. I totally appreciate your broader vision, than just your baked goods, this bigger picture, and your focus on human behavior, driving a lot of this. I wasn't fully clear on for More Than Cake. At first, I thought it was courses for kids about how to behave and model behavior, but then I heard it was entrepreneurs and an accelerator. And so I guess I want to understand a little bit about, is this a separate entity from the bakery? Or is it just a give back to the community? What does that look like? And will it be leveraging your kitchen space, et cetera?
Okay, so More Than Cake is just like an extension. It's just like it's an extension of what we do as Pink Sugar. It's not its own entity or anything like that. I just wanted to give it its own name to just let people know what we do. But yes, we'll be using our kitchen space, helping these kids. When I say kids, young entrepreneurs, people that are interested in food business, and just using our platform and our access to a commercial kitchen, helping them get their food handlers, helping them navigate the Texas cottage law and all those things that we've already been through, just using our space and our knowledge to do that.
Perfect. Thanks. Well, thank you, Carrie, for your question. And thank you, Sugar, for your presentation. You can go ahead and head backstage. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and give some fire emojis and some +1s and some thumbs up and some clapping hands to all of our competitors who have pitched so far. And for all of you for staying along for the ride. It's actually been a fun. I love this rapid pitch session. So we're going to go back to our trash talk trivia because I just love it, right? Because we're talking trash. And so I have a fun fact for you. And the fun fact is, did you know that about 11 million tons of textiles end up in our US landfills every year? And that's an average of about 70 pounds per person. So all I'm saying, Lilitha, is there is a lot of textile waste for you to use to make as many bow ties as you want for all the babies. That's all I'm saying. Moving right along, you guys, moving right along. We are going to call up our next business pitch, and it's going to be Royal Jelly Bee, which is going to be pitched by Landon Holden. So Landon, you want to come and join me on the stage?
Hello, how's it going? perfect. Let me just share my screen. All right, I think we're gonna do it. All right, so hello, I'm Landon with Royal Jelly Bee Company. Royal Jelly Bee Company is an agribusiness that helps landowners qualify their property for ag valuation, boosts pollination on local farms, and benefits wildlife through regenerative agriculture. We started as hobby beekeepers in March 2018, but have since grown to be profitable within our first year of business. These graphs show that our company started with a few early adopters and have since grown in both sales and monthly service revenue since then. Market statistics show that pollination income and breeding income are becoming more important into the future. The market needs more diverse breeding programs to meet local demand, as rising local prices and limited supply have shut people out of the market. Challenges faced: property owners with little experience often struggle to start their own large bee yard successfully. Beekeepers of varying experience levels commonly rent out bees, but there's a problem with sustainability, which puts clients at a disadvantage. Beekeepers often focus solely on honey production, leaving growing demand locally for queen bees and small colonies. We deliver solutions by providing all of the equipment and maintaining the hives for years to come. Our clients enjoy owning their hives, which they view as a long-term investment into their property. We cater our work around clients' needs, from hands-on involvement and teaching or completely hands-off assistance as needed. And we aim to breed healthier local bee populations, meeting rising demand for live bees and beekeeping services locally. So what makes us circular? Our services are mutually beneficial to our clients and help with environmental regeneration. We work with local craftspeople who source reclaimed lumber for our hive parts, and we have a passion for the idea of a living wage, which is why we maintain high standards in order to provide quality service. Our company offers a revenue model with a setup deposit followed by installation of equipment and bees on site. We then offer ongoing monthly service checks to keep the hives thriving. If there is surplus honey at harvest times, we work with our clients to find service-driven solutions catered to them. And we also produce small colonies through regular management, which adds diversity and helps to replace weak stock throughout the year. Our social and economic impact is locally oriented. Our services are flexible and can benefit small gardens all the way up to large farms. We currently have a number of contract work opportunities for Austinites, and we plan to scale and hire administrative team members and beekeepers throughout the near future. Our goal is to work with local scientists and to further advance modern bee discoveries. Our positive environmental impact is growing. Apiaries that we manage have a broad pollination range of over 700 square miles throughout Central Texas. We help farmers increase their productivity, profitability, and also help to preserve local wildlife. We aim to source locally reclaimed and divert waste where possible. We have a broad range of service. Our services are reasonably priced, attracting clients up to 60 miles away. Our company is positioned for success in rural communities and can scale to meet urban demand as we scale. Here's what our clients are saying. Paige in Dripping Springs says that we're a huge help to her beekeeping experience and that the bees play an important role in their regenerative farm ecosystem. Linda of Lockhart finds us to be easy to work with, reliable, and thorough in explanations. She feels good knowing that she is helping the bees and Mother Nature with our assistance. Rebecca was feeling overwhelmed and ill-equipped when it came to providing proper care for her bees, and since then we have helped them thrive. Our next steps, we'll begin marketing heavily for the upcoming 2022 season. And we'll be building up our inventory throughout the winter of hive parts so that we can decrease our turnover time of new customers throughout the coming season. And we hope to bring on new team members in the near future. Thank you so much for your time.
Wonderful, Landon. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go to Umberto. I think his technology is fixed. Umberto, do you have a question for Landon? I definitely need some Jeopardy music. All right, so we'll come back to you. I'm going to go ahead and kick it to Carrie. Carrie, do you have a question for Landon?
So my question is actually more of a clarifying question than like trying to dig deeper into the business. I'm not sure I'm totally clear. Do the places that you put these hives actually need pollination services as well? Have people who are using this to get, an ag exemption, leverage their land, and then you help move the bees to places where they can be useful during certain seasons to pollinate. I just not totally understanding. Is it just people who need pollination? They have their own bees, or do you also move the bees around?
So I am not a traditional pollination service in that I'm not transporting bees on a whim. It's more of a permanent apiary setup that the clients are interested in. So they might be wanting that for an ag valuation, or they could be a small farm that wants to incorporate bees into their property. But it's not a temporary setup.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Carrie. Tatiana, do you have a question for Landon?
I do. What are you expecting to do with the prize?
With the prize, we would likely be sourcing inventory throughout winter. So that'd be working with the local craftsmen to get just more hive parts that we can have on hand, so that whenever we have a new customer, we can essentially just be immediately setting up that hardware. Whereas this year, we'd had a turnover time of about 1 to 2 months because we were having to order upon closing with the client.
Thanks, Tatiana. And Josue, do you have a question for Landon?
Yes, I do. Forgive me if you already covered this, but how do you advertise your product? Is it all word of mouth? Are you on social media?
For sure. So in the experimental phase, when it was a hobby project, I was experimenting primarily with Craigslist and networking with people there. Since then, I mean, I've personally spent my money on Google Ads and experimented there, as well as Facebook ads, which have been more successful than all of the above.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Josue. We're going to go back to Umberto. Umberto, can you turn on your camera and mic? And do you have a question for Landon? You are only one part of the supply chain, bees. Have you thought of going down the chain to develop the honey?
Yes. So in developing the small business, I personally have to focus on the service aspect, because that is kind of core to building the breeding element out. But there are obviously many aspects that can be scaled up, from honey, which we do work with our clients on that as well, if they are looking to market their own honey from their small farm, as well as beeswax products, propolis products, potential for bee venom and other pharmaceutical type products, and research in those areas as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Landon. You can go ahead and head backstage, we'll keep it moving, of course. All right, you guys, we're 7 down, and your girl is back with some trash talk trivia for you guys. So I have a question. Drop your answers in the chat. So my question for you all is, which sustainable practice is at the top of the hierarchy of recovery for waste? Which sustainable practice is at the top of the hierarchy of recovery for waste? So we have landfill, design and redesign, compost, or feeding animals. Which one is at the top of the hierarchy of recovery? Is it landfills? Is it compost? Is it design and redesign? Or is it feed animals? I want to see some answers in the compost. Somebody says compost, design and redesign, compost. I'm seeing a lot for compost. Okay, design and redesign, design and redesign. Yes, it is design and redesign. And that has been your Trash Talk Trivia moment. So thank you guys. That was awesome. Moving right along, because we have 3 more amazing circular economy companies. And our next pitch will be from Local, and it will be pitched by Petey Peterson. Petey, you want to come and join me on the stage?
I am here. All right. Whoa, what just happened? You guys are seeing? Go. All right. Hello, sorry about that. I am not tech savvy, but I am Petey. I'm the founder of Local Charcoal Company, founded right here in Austin, Texas, established in 2016. My ultimate goal was to really disrupt the waste industry, specifically organic waste, and really try to clean up our economy, because we're really we live on a small little topsoil of our planet, and we all need to do our part. So this is kind of the vision that I've been working on for the last few years. Left side of the screen, that's our linear waste stream. Single use, a lot of stuff ended up in the landfill. And we really specifically focused on pallet waste. Why? Because look around your house. Think about what you ate today for lunch. It was probably delivered to you on a pallet. Those pallets are made of trees. Those trees take 30 years to grow, and sometimes they only last 30 days before ending up in our landfill. So we decided, you know what? We can do something better with all that waste. So we developed the Rainmaker. This is our containerized mobile fluidized gasifier that converts 8 pallets per hour to provide 100 houses with power. And we actually are proving it here in the city of Austin. At the same time, we're capturing carbon in value-added products. And so we call it sustainability squared, because we're actually upcycling waste, producing that clean energy, and then upcycling our own waste in this biochar product. And so what is biochar? Well, it's very similar to activated charcoal. It has a great porosity and a chance to absorb nutrients and also toxins. Fun facts, Skyra, a gram of charcoal has a surface area of about a tennis court. So you can really see the capabilities of it. So for this sole purpose of the reverse pitch, I've focused on the local wattle sock. These other 2 products we have developed a little bit, but this was specifically for this practice. And I'm sure you guys have seen them around town. They look like kind of big sausages laying out in the field. They're designed to offset soil erosion and just slow down the water from rain, but they don't actually capture any of the toxins. So we thought about it and we said, you know what? Biochar could actually be a great additive to inject in there to absorb petrochemicals and fertilizers before they wash into our waterways. And you think, well, is that important? Well, I look at this as being one of the rainiest summers Austin has ever had, and we get a lot of stuff washing into our water. Of course, the city keeps growing, and so our impervious ground cover is shrinking, and we are having more runoff due to more rooftops, more parking lots, more highways, and it's causing a lot of problems with our aquifers. And if you were to follow this river up, just go to the tip, that's Redbud Island. Right now, the city of Austin and the Watershed Protection Group are actually using biochar to treat contaminants up there because we have red algae blooms that are killing our dogs in our waterways right now. Biochar can actually save our dogs' lives from the river. We can't do it by ourselves. Local is great at diverting waste, pallet waste, through multiple partners, Austin Wood Recycling, Balcones Resources, and including our advisor, Heather Emerson over at Prep to Your Door. Everybody has pallets, but we didn't have the capital resources to actually manufacture these equipment. So we partnered with L&M. They're a company out of actually San Marcos, just down the street, and they've agreed to be our national partner to help us develop this product. They've never seen it before. They're very intrigued. They operate across all the Southeast. They actually don't sell the product. So we have to work with Site One, which is the largest landscape distribution company that actually is very interested in this as well, because they service a lot of these different markets that need this. So Local prides ourselves on environmental impact. We will make sure that we have zero waste and that the client is very, very content. So I mentioned my name is Petey. I'm born and raised here in Austin, along with my inventor here, Seth Nyer. We're actually childhood best friends. Keep Austin weird, born and raised, so we're doing it. And we're really excited to share this potential to impact our waterways and sustainability here in the city of Austin. Look forward to any questions.
Listen, getting to that mic button and hitting it right on where it needs to be hit, just saying. All right, thank you so much, Petey. Great pitch. We're gonna go to our judges. Tatiana, do you have a question for Petey?
For revenue, so are you partnering with cities, or how does it work? I'm sorry if I missed it.
So we are going to be selling to general contractors and landscape design companies. We have a couple already established here in town, as well as we discovered actually golf courses are very interested in this because they apply a lot of fertilizers and they're really concerned about their water resources as well.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Tatiana. And Carrie, do you have a question for Petey?
I'm probably breaking the rules because you did such a good get it. I'm in. So I wanted to back up a step and understand a little bit about the bigger business model, because as a startup, you only have, especially if it's just the two of you founders, there's only so many resources. So how much of your time are you spending on selling product versus having to actually do these installations where you actually create the charcoal or whatever it's called? So how do you divvy up the business?
I started the business actually out of a 55-gallon barrel in my front yard, diverting landscape waste, making biochar. And so I've been making it for the last 5 years. I have a stockpile of it, and I understand the waste diversion. I've scaled up this technology with actually a grant. We were awarded a grant, we were very fortunate. We bootstrapped everything else to date so far. The really interesting thing about biochar is there's a lot of interested parties right now. So we're talking with a lot of industry leaders about different carbon capture impacts. And I'd love to take it offline, Carrie, when you have some time.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, Carrie. Josue, do you have a question for Petey?
Camera's super slow.
It's okay.
Great pitch, Petey. I'm all about saving the dogs. So what are you thinking in the next few years? How would this create jobs here in Austin, locally?
So we are actually manufacturing our first Rainmaker right here in Central Texas right now with a bunch of old Army veterans. And so we want to manufacture the technology as well as sell the co-products, develop. It's not a traditional business model that we have technology as well as a product. And so people are going to laugh at us, but that's how the circular economy has to work. We've discovered is that you have to figure out both sides of the equation. And so we're looking forward to hiring a lot of veterans and putting people back on the streets working.
Love it. Thanks, Josue. And Umberto, let's see if we can get that camera and mic to work. No pressure. Technology can be finicky, as we've all learned during this global pandemic. Nope. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we have 1 minute. That's Erica.
1 minute.
Erica, you got my hopes up for Humberto. Humberto, you want to drop it in the chat for me? I can ask it for you. He said he loves the vet involvement. All right. Thanks so much, Petey. Appreciate it. You can go ahead and head backstage.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's get some thumbs up, fire emojis, hand claps for Petey and all the competitors who have pitched so far. You guys, we are down to 2. But before we get to those final 2, we're going to do a little trash talk trivia. Because what's the fun in doing a pitch event without some trivia and a little trash talk? So I have a little fun fact for you guys. And the fun fact is, did you know that aluminum can be recycled forever, right? Without any loss of quality. I do this work every day. This is a fun fact that I don't know that I knew. And also glass can be recycled and remanufactured at an infinite amount of times and never wear out. Forever. That's right, Ryan. Forever. Forever. That's what we're here for, right? Yes, love it. Or purity, yes. Yep. Awesome. Okay, moving right along to our second to last pitch company. Our next pitch will be from Black Lives Veggies, and it will be pitched by Larry Franklin. Larry, you want to join me on the stage?
Hey. Can you see me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead and share your screen.
All right, here we go. So, Black Lives Veggies, always organic. Yes, we're going to movement. Austin's food and agriculture industry for the year 2020 was able to publish a gross profit with a 17% increase in the sale of organic vegetable transplants. Austin's food and agriculture industry for the year 2020 was able to publish a gross profit with around a 10% increase in the sale of organic vegetable seeds. Outside of my principal industry, garden consulting is established, and around the same time was able to publish a gross profit with a 4% increase. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that more families are eating healthy. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that more communities are engaged in community gardening. But despite the leaps and bounds that are green and sustainable, annually, a few million tons of plastic are stuffed into our landfill or become land. Recycling is the least exercise out of the 4. And combustion tends to release toxins that are a byproduct of fossil fuels, only to weaken our ozone and atmosphere. No matter the course of action of this relationship, I hate to say it, but we may soon be Solution? My name is Larry Franklin. I'm the proud owner of Black Lives Veggies. Following the death of George Floyd, I concluded that my fight for justice would start with entrepreneurship in the food and agriculture industry. Today, Black Lives Veggies has a number of services that are a byproduct of validated learning. The services consist of landscape designing. We have our own soil mix. We even have something called a starter kit. Demand literally pushed me into the context of scaling. And despite happy clients and material suppliers, honestly, it was a scramble. Profit and loss statements are going to be based on physical month. Because believe it or not, Black Lives Veggies has not been operating for a year. For the month of January through February, physical month, we were able to gross around $8,000 with a minimum expense because our revenue model, or better yet, our business model is so simple and so doable. Our total expenses were almost only $500. So if you do the math correctly, we were able to gross around 75. Now, it's important to understand that Black Lives Veggies is just not a local nursery or a legal entity. Black Lives Veggies is actually a movement. We're at the point to where we had to branch off from just having an LLC to now having a nonprofit also because the demand is huge. But what we concluded is that everybody can't afford it. That's it. That's it. Hello?
Larry, I'm here. The mute button gets me every single time. Thanks so much, Larry. Appreciate your presentation. I'm going to kick it to Josue. Josue, do you have a question for Larry?
How's it going, Larry? Great presentation. I just want to know if you end up winning these funds, what you plan on using them for?
That's a great question because when I said the man had literally scaled up, like it literally scaled up. And I had a client whose house I was working on with my trailer on the back of my truck, and it was raining. And I ended up coming down the hill trying to turn, and the tires wouldn't catch, and I ended up crashing into a tree, and my car got totaled. So that would be more than anything what I would use the funds for, is to actually get back on the road because that's an important component towards our business. Everything else is pretty much already there, like the 4-inch plastic pots that normally get recycled. Like we have a ton of those, and people donate those to us, communities, other businesses.
Perfect. Thanks, Larry. We have a question from Umberto, and his question for you is, how do you plan to scale, or will it be a local venture, and how many jobs can be created?
Well, scaling is already happening on its own. Like literally, I've had people reach out to me and talk about distribution. So with the coming season, we're going to diverse our distribution system. We'll have Black Lives Veggies West, Black Lives Veggies East, North and South. And right there alone, that's 4 jobs as the nursery provider. Now, let's not even talk about the manufacturing process of it all. And if we were able to scale, if we were able to gross $8,000 in a 2-month period, I believe so can the others. So that's 4, and then let's say each person hires an employee. So that's 8 people right there. And that's for the coming season.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Carrie, do you have a question for Larry?
I want some questions, y'all. I want to talk a little bit. Hey.
For my questions are never going to be as valuable as the wait time that it took to get here. Larry, can you explain how much of your business is product sales, like actually creating these gardens, and how much of it is like services? Are you actually helping do planting and things like that after the fact? I wasn't clear on
Yes,
what you're doing.
Okay, so we started off with just growing vegetables. And so that's our number 1 seller. Following growing vegetables, we had questions about gardens. So that's consulting. That's our number 2 seller. Number 3 seller is container gardens, which means a person in an apartment could have a container and grow their own vegetable out of it. And then we had got into landscape designing, despite the fact that that's our 4th service. Well, 2nd service, I think 4th altogether in terms of products and services. That's our number 1 seller, because to actually build it, create it, the material, those things are a lot more expensive than growing a vegetable.
Okay, thank
Perfect.
you.
Thanks,
Yes, ma'am.
Carrie. And Tatiana, do you have a question for Larry?
I do
Hey,
actually.
Tatiana.
Hello, I actually have two questions. So first
Yes,
one
ma'am.
is, who is your customer? So who is the standard usual person that is requesting your services? And then second one, why are you better than competition?
So, first question, our customers, anybody that grows their own or that buys vegetables. I believe that we have a very broad market, actually, really big client base. If you think about the people that eat vegetables, because we can sell vegetables by the pound also, and then the people that just eat vegetables. And you said the second question was what?
Are you better than your competition?
Why am I better than my competition? I'm not going to say I'm better than my competition. All I can say is I know what we're doing. And so far, we have become like a rock star in the garden industry, like literally. There's so many like relationships that have been formed that are coming into play right now. It's like, I'm not going to say I'm better than them. I just feel like our mission statement really says a lot, which our mission statement is to diversify the local food system by providing Blacks and Browns entrepreneurship education in the agriculture industry and provide startup resources for them.
Perfect.
Yes,
Well, thank you so much, Larry. Great presentation. You can go ahead and head backstage.
How do I do that?
Just turn your mic and camera off. Awesome. You guys, guess what? We're at our last pitch. I cannot believe we've already gotten here. I'm so excited. But before we get to that last pitch, what do we need to do? A little trash talking. So let's do some trash talk trivia. I got a question for you guys. Drop it in the chat. Here is my question. On average, how many aluminum soda cans are used in the United States each year? So on average, how many aluminum soda cans are used in the US each year? Do you think it's 90 million, 3 billion, 120 million, or 180 billion? 90 million, 3 billion, 120 million, or 180 billion? What do we think? On average, how many aluminum soda cans do we think are used? I see some 3 billions, 180 billion, 3 billion, 120 million, 180 billion. It's actually 180 billion aluminum soda cans are used every year. A lot. That's right, Alberto. A lot. A lot. But remember, they can be recycled over and over and over again, y'all. Over and over and over again. Forever. That's what we said. All right, moving right along. Y'all, last but not least, we have come to our final pitch. It is Remat, and it is going to be pitched by Chris Moken. Chris, if you want to come and join me on the stage.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Gonna share the screen here and hopefully get this going without a problem. Screen showing up just fine. Is that screen showing up fine for everyone?
Yes, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Well, my name is Chris Moken. I'm the founder of Remat. I'm here today to talk about the amazing opportunity we have as a community to solve a major waste problem here, and that is the waste problem of mattresses. Almost 250,000 mattresses are disposed of in the Austin MSA every single year. That's close to 7,000 tons of material that are lost to landfills or incinerators. And the reason this is such a big problem is that we are running out of landfill space in this region. We only have about 23 years left of landfill reserve capacity in this region. Fortunately, there's a proven solution that's working across the nation. Nonprofits have been recycling mattresses for decades. And just to give you an idea of how successful it is right now, here's a map of all the existing mattress recycling infrastructure here in the US. We've worked with several of these to build out a business model using real financial data so that we can launch a mattress recycling facility here in Austin and begin diverting as many mattresses from the landfill as possible. By the end of our first year of operation, we will be self-sustaining through a dual revenue stream. We will charge a processing fee for each mattress that comes into our warehouse, and then we will deconstruct the mattresses. We will take out the cotton, the foam, the ticking, and the steel, and we will sell those materials to manufacturers so they can be reused and remade into new products. This is the same business model that's used all across the nation. Now, mattress recycling is very labor intensive. So by the end of our third year of operation, we'll need to hire at least 15 full-time employees, and we're primarily going to be working with previously incarcerated individuals. And our goal is to help transition them back into the workforce. And our goal is to be doing this almost every 6 months, bringing a new 15 people in and getting them back out into better, higher paying jobs. Now, the environmental impact is staggering. By the end of our 3rd year of operation, our goal is to be recycling 50,000 mattresses every single year. Now, of course, there's the obvious 1,500 tons of material we can divert every year, but there's also an amazing 1,700 tons of carbon emissions that we can be reducing every year. I've been working in the solid waste and recycling industry here in Texas for about 7 years. I most recently worked at the Alma Area Council of Governments, where I oversaw solid waste activities across the 13-county region. So I've seen this problem at the county level, the city level, and spoken with the landfills and spoken with residents. And everyone wants a solution to this problem. And I spent the last couple of years putting all the pieces together so that we can make this a viable business with all the partners we need. The only thing holding us up right now is funding. We're currently raising about $200,000 so that we can launch a 10,000 square foot facility right here in Austin. And we're mostly doing this through trying to find donations, grants, and then also looking at impact investing through low interest debts. Because again, by the end of our 1st year, we'll be generating a small profit and we can use that to pay off any debt. If we're awarded any funds this evening, what we'll be using those for is to work with fundraising specialists that know the Austin area very well and can help us reach our goals. Now, if you share a passion like I do for this massive waste problem, please reach out to me. Love to talk with you. And I'd really like to thank everyone else for presenting today. I love learning about all the different projects going on here in Austin. And thank you very much, judges, for your time. And also thank you very much to the City of Austin for putting this on. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I appreciate you too. All right, I'm gonna start with Tatiana. Tatiana, do you have a question for Chris?
Yes, in terms of, I guess I don't know how to put this in a smart way, but like, where are you guys getting the mattresses from to recycle ultimately? Is it from homes or call for pickup? Like, what's the plan?
It would be a combination. It'd be a combination of dropping off and then also doing collections. Now, of course, when we start off, it would just be drop-offs, so people would come and bring us the mattresses. Of course, we'd eventually love to work with the city and partner with their bulk collection system as well. And that's how they actually do it in the city of Minneapolis, where the city actually will just bring all the mattresses to a local nonprofit to recycle them. But of course, collection services would be something else we'd offer. There would just be an additional fee for that.
Understood. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Tatiana. Chris, Humberto has a question for you, and his question is, have you thought of partnering for a pilot with one of the big mattress companies or hotels?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we know the folks at Cantwell Mattress really well. Unfortunately, the main problem is that we just don't have the capacity to sell the materials when you do a small pilot, because the companies that want to buy most of the materials, they want to buy by the truckload. So unless you've got about 40,000 pounds of this foam or this cotton or the ticking, most companies just don't want to spend the time, because these are massive conglomerates that buy these materials. Steel would be one of the few things you could sell, but then we'd have all these leftover materials eventually just be landfills. So for this, it's really go big or go home, unfortunately.
Got it. Thank you. Carrie, do you have a question for Chris? Y'all give my girl Carrie some grace. You're still muted, Carrie.
There you go.
There you go.
It was unmuted. It just takes a long time to turn on. I would like to understand who's actually going to pay the processing fee, and if it's the consumer. I imagine it's kind of a niche audience of consumers who are really motivated to help the world. And so are there models? Are the mattress, manufacturers motivated in any way? Is there any city-based program that can pay for it? Because I worry that the reason it's a nonprofit is that no one's been willing to pay for it in the past.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that the labor cost to deconstruct and get the materials, it doesn't cover the cost of the material. So you need to charge a processing fee. And so nonprofits do, so you can drive that processing fee as low as possible. And there are 3 states that mandated by law through extended producer responsibility policy that's passed at the state level. That's California, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. So out there, they actually basically just tack on an additional fee. So whenever you buy a mattress, you're paying an extra 10 to 12 bucks. And then that money goes into a statewide program, and that funds the recycling. There are other examples, like out in Colorado, where they have no policies. Communities support these nonprofits, and the average fee you pay if you drop it off is about $20. And then there's an additional $20 to $40 fee if you're doing a collection as well, and that's normally paid by the consumer.
Okay, I understand why you have to charge a fee from a business model point of view. We need to make sure that the consumer is willing to, pay the fee, and I think that's what we're going to need to test.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I know here in the Austin area, if you're going to be taking it out to the TDS landfill, I believe last time I checked, they charge at least $13, maybe $15 a unit. And of course, you now have the hassle of having to drive all the way out to TDS's landfill.
Perfect. And Josue, do you have a question for Chris?
Questions. Chris answered pretty much everything for me.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Chris. You can go ahead and head backstage.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the opportunity again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I love what you did with the hair and the suit. That's brilliant. I like that. I wish I had that courage.
Thank you. All right, you guys, we've come to the end of our pitches. As we wait for our judges' scores to finalize, let's take a moment to thank you all, all of those who make the Circular Austin Showcase possible. First, we want to thank our pitch companies. If y'all can drop some fire emojis, some high fives, some +1s, some clapping hands, right? For getting up and giving a 4-minute rapid pitch to a panel of 4 judges. Congratulations to all of our pitch companies tonight. We're really excited that you all have chosen to base your business in Austin and that you're supporting the circular economy. Also want to thank the City of Austin's Austin Resource Recovery and the Circular Economy Program. This is our first annual Circular Austin Showcase. We look forward to hosting many more and having you guys be a part of it. So if you're interested, please be on the lookout for our second annual date launch. And of course, the Economic Development Department and the Global Business Expansion Team, that's also really great and supporting the economic growth and ensuring that Austinites have high quality and high paying jobs here, which is what we're trying to do. And of course, our wonderful, incredible partner, the Austin Young Chamber. They've been helping us all the tech, making sure we had a really cool platform to work from. So thank you so much to them. And of course, our investors and judges for willing to spend 2 hours with us listening to 10 local circular economy companies pitch their business idea. We're so grateful to you and thank you guys so much for getting those scores in quickly and working with us on that. And of course, to you all, to our attendees, for continuing to encourage our circular economy businesses, for attending this evening, for giving us all the fire emojis and the +1s and the high fives and the claps. We could all use a little bit of encouragement every once in a while. And of course, it can be hard to put yourself out there and your business idea out there, but we thank you all so much for supporting our pitch companies this evening. Of course, the Circular Austin Showcase is a component of the City of Austin's Business Retention and Expansion Program, which promotes business growth and capital investment and job creation by connecting our local businesses owners with the resources that they need to succeed. You guys, we are here to continue to support the growth of the City of Austin. And of course, we inform local business development initiatives and supporting the overall local business climate. And so I think we are ready to announce a winner at this time. So at this time, I would like to bring up to the stage Susanna Carbajal, our Assistant Director of the City of Austin's Economic Development Department, to announce the winner. Susanna, we're gonna need you to put, there you go.
Yes, hi everyone,
Hi.
Good evening. I'm so honored to be with you all today and announce the winner of our first annual Circular Austin Showcase. First, I want to thank to all of the competitors. There were amazing pitches tonight. We are so excited about the opportunity to continue to support and showcase our circular economy and zero waste businesses in Austin. So thank you so much for spending this evening and sharing your ideas and your concept and your pitches tonight. They were just amazing. Thank you again to all of our investor judges for listening and for your time and your questions. We are so thankful for your time and the opportunity to connect our circular economy businesses and zero waste businesses with our investor community. The city's Economic Development Department has established itself as a leader in technology, innovation, energy, workforce development, music, and creativity that has led to significant business expansion and growth. We support and recruit businesses to Austin, and our mission is to promote a competitive, sustainable, and equitable economy for all. We recognize that the circular economy is a new emerging business model that works to incorporate environmental justice and protect our planet's resources, all while offering the opportunity, high quality jobs and for Austinites and helping us to reach zero waste goals. We are so excited to partner with our sister department, Austin Resource Recovery. Thank you so much for your support and your guidance in expanding this work through the Circular Austin Showcase and other EDD programs. And now to announce the Circular Austin Showcase winner. I feel like I need a drum roll or music or something. Okay, congratulations to Local. Local is the winner. So I would like to invite the winner to the stage for a photo op with the City of Austin and Austin Young Chamber. I'm going to turn off my camera so you could take a photo.
Thank you, guys. It's going to take all of us to get it done, though. It's not just one person. So let's all work together. I want everybody to in their front yard, their backyard, and help you guys develop your own business models. I love sustainability. I love every opportunity to make a difference. So let's do it.
Cool. Thank you so much. Congratulations. We're excited about your pitch and we look forward to your growth and your success in Austin. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. So back to you, Skyra.
Oh, that mute button gets me every time. Petey, congratulations. So excited. Can't wait to chat with you afterward. You can go ahead and head backstage and we'll continue on with the program. Y'all, congratulations to Local. Again, I want to thank every single pitch company who participated in this. I know you put a lot of hard work and time into your pitches and into your business model. We are so thankful that you decided to locate your business here in Austin and you're supporting jobs and the local economy and of course the circular economy here in the city of Austin as well. So thank you all so much and congratulations to Local and to Petey. So now it's time for networking right here in Remo. So the networking component of the event is your opportunity to speak directly with Austin Circular Economy business community and to support the work of all of the business owners that pitched to us tonight. We hope you enjoy connecting with them and sharing any insights, feedback, or opportunities for partnership or collaboration. Just know that the platform will stay open until 8:30. And once we close out of the presentation, you'll see a floor plan with tables, okay? Just double click on a table to chat with the other attendees at that table. And each table will be labeled for one of the businesses that pitched tonight, so you can decide which business that you would like to visit. You will be able to turn on your camera and microphone using the menu buttons at the bottom of your screen. And of course, if you have any technical issues, feel free to private chat and message me and we'll do whatever we can to help you guys. Thank you all so much again for joining us. Stay tuned to our website and social media channels for more great programs from the Circular Economy Program. Thank you all so much, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and head to the table so you can chat with the pitch companies. We're so grateful for you all and see you soon.